Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your weekend so far and are currently resting and relaxing, waiting for things to, or getting ready for the next week ahead to happen. Quickly before we get started here, I have launched officially a weight loss course for beginners. It is an online digital course for download. Discover 5 little known secrets on how to lose weight, especially nowadays, right? We are just past Thanksgiving here in Canada. We are coming up, Christmas is literally just around the corner. Trust me, it is going to be here so much sooner than you actually expect it to be. It's an online digital course that you can download, go through at your own speed, at your own, whenever your schedule provides a little bit of time for you to do it. So definitely, if you or somebody you know of is interested in dropping a few pounds, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. There's tons of cool stuff that comes along with the initial launch, and I'm super excited to get it out there. Next, convention products. The new product line is officially launched and available as of October 1st. That comes with the new Abode line. That is the cleaning line that doTERRA just came out with at convention. Everybody's super excited about that. It's actually an awesome new line. It's everything that you need to make the change in your lifestyle. So if you or somebody you know of is interested in, reducing the toxic load in your lifestyle, getting rid of the naturally toxic products, cleaning products that we normally have. There's also dishwasher pods, laundry pods, dish soap. There's so much cool stuff that comes along with that. So definitely reach out to me if you or somebody you know of is interested in making that lifestyle change. Okay. That's where I'm going to cut that off. I promise you there's so much more going on over here, and I could just talk your ear off forever about it. What a great time to be alive. I will say that, and I actually mean it. This is not actually important to anything, but not next week. What are we, 11 days, I believe, until my birthday, so, yeah, all right. All right, so let's get into today's topic. What I actually wanted to use today for was to talk about a Saturday, right? How to give yourself a break. Let's take that break, right? Let's use Saturday, and maybe it's too late depending on where you are, so we use Sunday. Right? And that doesn't even matter at all because, when the weekend comes around, the weekend is a really big time to get caught back up on everything that you missed throughout the week, everything that you had no time for. So your weekend, actually, for the most part, for me in particular, it can be a time where I work more at home than I do throughout the week at my job, at work, right? So, that's where, the weekend's supposed to be a relaxing time where you can get away and type thing, but a lot of times it becomes a time where you work harder than you do actually at your regular job throughout the week. So, that's where every once in a while we need to give ourselves a break, right? Life is hard. Things are hard. Nothing is easy. Nothing really in life worthwhile is easy or comes to you easy. And it is hard, right? And every once in a while, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things that we shouldn't. We're going to, veer off of our, intellectual path, if you will. We're going to do things that maybe aren't consistent with, our values and our life views on life, and we're probably going to do things sometimes that take us away from our goals, right? Like if we're trying to lose weight, maybe every once in a while we binge on a fast food, right? Maybe there is old habits die really hard, right? So maybe there comes a weekend where we just go hard on the junk food, right? We don't really care. If we're trying to save money and we make a big purchase just out of out of habit because we money burns a hole in our pocket, or if we're trying to save up for that new car and we make a big purchase that we're not supposed to, everything in life can get us down, right? If we actually feel for it, right? And every once in a while we do need to just give ourselves a break. Give ourselves a pat on the back, let ourselves know that we are good enough, right? And we do things that are amazing on a daily basis, right? Whether we're willing to give ourselves credit for it or not, right? I don't know about you, but waking up every morning, for me, I have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to go to work on day shift. And if you think I do that because I like it, I mean, that's, you got another thing coming for you, right? So I do that, that's what we do, right? We just do that because that's what we need to do in order to succeed in life, in order to, have the things that we want, do the things that we want, become the things that we want to become. So, but every once in a while, right, things go weary, they go, we get derailed from our goals, we go off the wayside, and we just need to give ourselves a break, right? Just understand that it happened, right? And to get right into my first tip here, right? Hopefully, this is stuff that helps me, right? So every once in a while, we do need to give ourselves a break, and this is stuff that helps me sort of, take a break from reality. And I will say, just as a side note, for me personally, I really had to learn this. For me, right, and when I was in the early stages of starting my business, I was really under the impression that I had to be going at every moment of time, and and if I wasn't going, right, there was somebody else out there who was going all the time, and if I wasn't going all the time, I would miss out on an opportunity, or somebody else would come around and swoop underneath me. Right, so that's where I really had to learn to take the breaks, right, to come back with a new perspective, to go at it in the right way, right? We all know that when you're worked up and when you're super antsy or the other end of the spectrum, right? When you're really tired, you're really groggy, you can't think, right? Nothing really works out in your favor, and you just compound your problems by stressing about it, right? So that's where I've got some tips that help me just take a break from reality, and hopefully they help you, right? Hopefully you find a tip or two that help you maybe implement into your own schedule and help you to just realize that every once in a while we do just need to take a break, rest, recharge, restore, come back at it with a fresh attitude. And who knows? Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. But you don't know until you try. So, to lead into my first one, my first thing that you can do to give yourself a break is just to move on, right? Just to understand, right? Really acknowledge what happened, right? If we're trying to lose weight, okay, fine. We had that weekend binger or that weekend bender, right? Where we felt super sorry for ourselves and we just went off the wayside. If we are trying to save money for a brand new car and we went out and bought a sports jacket that we didn't need, but it was just super cool right there. I'm with you on that one, man. I'm a sucker for a sale. So anytime there's a sale going on, that immediately catches my attention, right? It's like that shiny object syndrome, right? You see a shiny object, like, whoa, what's that over there? Something shiny, I need to see it. That's me, right, with a sale price that catches my eye. And I'm like, eesh, it's gonna hurt the wallet right here. But that's what it is, right? We just acknowledge that it happened and we move on, right? Life is way too short, way too much going on, way too awesome sauce to be had at any moment of time to be feeling sorry for yourself, right? To be dwelling on the past, to be, just still seething at what happened before, right? Stuff happens all the time, right? Really, all we can do every time something happens to us, right? We have two choices on how we deal with it. We can either choose to let it break us, right? And just, dwell on how it happened and, I'm the worst and, I can't do anything right. Or we could just, use it and just move on. Just get over it completely. I mean, right? More often than not, I will acknowledge that that's easier said than done to just get over it and move on. But the trauma, right? The tribulations and the stuff that you're doing to yourself when you hold on to stuff that happened, it's just so much detriment for yourself. There's a saying that was taught to me and is really prevalent in every moment of our lives is we become what we think about. So if you're constantly thinking about how you did wrong, about how, you can't do right, about how stuff is always going against you, I mean, if we become what we think about, I mean, we can't help but become, angry, self-loathing people that don't really have the ability to move on. We're just stuck in the past problems that happened to us, and we're not even open to the possibilities of new circumstances because we're just so focused on how bad our circumstances were, right? So my first advice to you, more than anything, just acknowledge that it happened and move on. It's so much better for you. And I mean, Trust me, I'm with you on this. I have a terrible time letting stuff go, and I'm so quick to bring up past arguments, especially when I won. Oh my gosh, you can ask Tina so much. If I won an argument and I know that I won and I'm in the right, there's no way I'm letting it down. No way, because I can't afford to lose one, right? I mean, if I don't bring it up and we start talking about something else and I'm losing that argument, no way, that's not going to happen. Trust me, it's doing so much more detriment to your health than it is to just let it go, understand that we messed up, and just move on. Just move on. Number 2, stop comparing yourself to other people. You want to talk about this? I can tell you one thing. I mean, you want to talk about this, I'll get a little bit, open up, pull back the curtain here for you, is I actually was supposed to be a professional hockey player, right? There is a bunch of people in the NHL right now that I used to play with. I grew up with them and we were, close friends when we were playing together. Now, not so much, right? But that's what happens, right? You need to stop comparing. So when I compare myself to those people, right, the guys that I, used to basically be, that's hard for me. I won't lie to you. I really won't lie. That's hard for me. It is really, it's tough for me to realize what could have been. But that's what could have been. What is completely awesome in itself, right? I would have never had the life that I have right now if I followed that path. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason. And that's really one of those things that I could really choose to dwell on that if I wanted to. I promise you that if I wanted to, I could really choose to dwell on that and it could ruin my life to a point of no return, right? Really, it could. That's why I choose not to. It is what it is, right? You stop comparing yourself. For me, I talked about it off the hop. I always thought that I had to keep going. I had to go, because if I wasn't, somebody else is going to be there to swoop underneath me. And I mean, that's really back, goes back to my hockey playing days, right? If I wasn't constantly training, constantly doing things to better myself, constantly, studying film and game tape and all that stuff, I was going to get passed over. And that's just that's the reality of the beast, the nature of the beast. But, in life, there's so much, and that's it, like there's so much more time to be had if we just choose to have it. I promise you that your worst day, somebody out there is dreaming about that type of day. Because there is people on their deathbed right now that are wishing for one more breath, one more day, one more hour to just tell the people that they love what they feel about them, right? So stop comparing yourself, because if you want to compare yourself to the people that you're not, the people that you want to be, right, the people that you should be, just remember that there's somebody out there comparing themselves to you. That's really one thing that I actually just really thought of, right? As much as we compare ourselves to other people, if you think about it, realistically, there's somebody comparing themselves to you. Somebody wants to be you. Somebody thinks that your life is the greatest thing in the world, right? And it may not be something to you, but to somebody that doesn't have what you have and is wishing for what you have, I mean, and this is not even anything more than, think about the people making minimum wage. Minimum wage in Canada just went up 10 cents an hour. A honkin' 10 cents per hour. So all of the people that are doing, how much work they do on a daily basis, how much more effort they have to put in to their minimum wage job, only for the government of Canada to be like, you guys are worth 10 cents an hour more. I actually did the math on that, and I mean, that's nothing more than, a quick, multiplication, right? 10 cents an hour times 40 hours is like $4 a week. Right? I don't know about you, man, but that, I don't know. Somebody's got their justification. So, I mean, let's get real here, right? Somebody making minimum wage just got 10 cents an hour, and you're watching those big, corporate millionaires take home, what, I believe I saw something that the CEO of, like, Target or something took home, like, $100,000 bonus last year, right? And minimum wage goes up 10 cents. So you want to compare yourself, right? Think about those people comparing themselves to others. So, I mean, that's why you got to stop comparing yourself to other people. You just do you. Do the best that you can possibly do. I promise you that no matter where you look, there is not a owner's manual for life and how it should be lived. You know, you look in your car, there's an owner's manual. Tell you every single step that you need to take on how to use your car and how to make it work for you. There is no owner's manual to how to run your life. You got to do it by trial and error, and you have to do it on your own. You can't compare your situation to somebody else's because it's not the same. It's completely different, even though it might be, you know, quote unquote, the same. Number 3, get outdoors. This one is actually kind of a cheat code, you know? Because with this one, right, when you're outside, it's nighttime over here in Ontario, right? So it's not really shining now, but when the sun's shining and, you know, it's a nice, bright, sunny day and it's, you know, happy looking outside, it's very hard to be upset. I can promise you, now this is just me, right? So I mean, maybe you're different, but for me, it's very hard for me to be upset when I'm outside and the sun's shining, right? And I'm, you know, I'm walking through and I'm seeing the night, especially nowadays, right? When it's autumn, right? Fall? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But the trees are changing and they're cool looking colors, right? They're all like yellow and orange, little hint of green. Some leaves are missing. And I mean, that looks so amazing, right? Now you've got the birds up here in Canada. It's starting to get colder, right? So the birds are starting to fly south where they go, and that's fascinating in itself, right? They just go fly south because it's hot, right? And they know they can't survive in the cold, so they just do that. And then, you know, they make cool formations in the sky, and that looks really cool. From my balcony, we can see the ocean, and that actually that's a nice ocean? Lake. No, lake. Lake, it is Ontario. And that's a nice view, right? As much as Lake Ontario is not very nice lake, it's a nice view, right? So that's really what we're talking about. When we're talking about taking a break, getting outside, right? And just enjoying your time outside. Taking a break from life. Don't get outside. And this is something that I really had to learn, right? Because when I was just getting outside, I was like, okay, there's so much things that I need to be doing. I don't have time to waste outside, just being outside. And that's what I mean. To me, that was completely the wrong thought process. It was only after I got out of my mind that way that I really understood it. And I mean, if it doesn't really talk to you the way it talked to me, when I really learned that I had to at least give this a try was Bill Gates talked about going to his private island, you know, for, I don't know, however many weeks every year. And I was like, you know what? As much as I don't have a private island, if Bill Gates is one of the richest people in the world, right? And if one of the richest people in the world is telling me that he takes breaks because it's better for his mental health and it helps him actually be a better worker, getting outdoors, baby, that's for me too. I at least have the moral obligation to give it a try. And if it doesn't work, right, call up Bill Gates. Tell him that it's the worst idea in the history of life. And we need to stay inside and keep grinding and keep pounding. And that's the only way to make a life for ourselves. Then come back and tell me how that conversation went. Because I would love to hear how that tip meant nothing to you and actually made your life even worse. I would love to hear that story. Number 4, have a you day. Right? Just time for you, right? Maybe it can't be today. Maybe it can't be tomorrow. But you can definitely set time aside for a you day, right? Go get a massage, right? Maybe go to the casino. Ooh, nice little treat there, right? Maybe a sporting event if that's something that you're into. You know, there's so many things that you could do. Even, you know, just going out and getting outside and just having a walk in nature, right? Going into the trees. We've got a nice forest pathway right beside us here. And so for us to go out there, it's nice and calming, relaxing, and, you know, a nice little mini getaway, I guess, if we will, in quotations there. But, you know, whatever a you day means to you. And I promise you that if you don't know what a good day to you feels like, then definitely do some research on that, because there's no way that you can really give yourself, your full self, to everybody else if you're constantly stressed out yourself and you're constantly, you know, in a bad way yourself. You need to be able to, you need to be able to separate feelings and emotions, right? And that's why you need to have a you day to kind of give yourself that rest, that relaxation, almost like hitting the reset button on your computer, right? Your computer gets overheated or it stops running programs properly, right? We need to hit the reset button. That's the same way with you, right? If you're not programmed properly, right, and you're super tired and, anxious feelings are happening and, you can't sleep at night and you're waking up just mad at life and, stuff's not going for you, you need to have a mini getaway, right? Just do what you can to kind of calm and relax yourself, right? For me, I love playing sports. I love watching sports. I love everything to do with sports. That's my thing, right? Tina loves crafting. For her, crafting is amazing. She's super creative. She does things that, the normal person wouldn't even care to do, and she makes it look amazing, right? I don't know. Find what makes you happy and do more of that. And that way, when you're, it doesn't even feel like you're, it gives yourself something to look forward to. That's really what it does more than anything. And that way, when things are really coming at you really strong and, anxious feelings are happening and, life is kind of crumbling right around you, you can find that thing that makes you happy, that sort of quote unquote you day, and really rock that out and then give yourself that, internal reset that we talk about. Number 5, get more sleep. Whether this is sleeping in or going to bed early, right? Depending on where you are, maybe you can't go to bed early tonight, but you can definitely sleep in tomorrow morning, or you can go to sleep later tomorrow night, right? So we definitely want to do, and especially on the weekend, right? Especially on the weekend, because it's so easy for us to give up sleep and nutrition throughout the week. When we are going, let's get real here. I'll tell you my schedule. My schedule consists of a 10-hour workday. And then if I'm doing the proper sleeping, it's 8 hours, right? So that's 18 hours out of 24 that I have already committed to my life. So I have 6 hours in the day to get everything else that I need to accomplish. Right? So for me, and you can already tell right away, it's super easy for me to give up on what? Nutrition and sleep. It's the way it is. So that's why on the weekend, right, we need, 7-8 hours of sleep every single night in order to be able to function properly, in order for, all of our body to work in progression with itself. We need about 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night. And let's get real here. If you're getting 7 hours of sleep, some of us are running off 7 hours of sleep in the week, right? If we're lucky. So that's why we use the weekend to either go to bed early or sleep in a little bit later, right? Just give yourself that, that quote unquote break and allow yourself to do it, right? Because we need a rest and recharge. It's one of those things where either you make time for your health now, or you're forced to make time for your illness later. And, that's really prevalent in everybody's life. So, do what you can to get more sleep and help yourself in that aspect. And, trust me on this one. This is another one that I would love to hear if getting more sleep actually made you, like a worse human being and people don't like you now that you're well rested and an overall, better feeling individual. Definitely come back here and tell me that one made no difference to you. And that's a story I would love to hear. My last tip more than anything is essential oils. Essential oil here like Arbor Vitae, first off, is Canadian. And it's also a woodsy oil, right? So it's very calming, relaxing. It's great for helping, especially at the end of a long day, right? When we're super riled up and, we can't really focus anymore, right? And we're just trying to we want to just rip our brains apart and we can't even deal with anything. I love Arbor Vitae. It's just nice and calming, relaxing, and, it really promotes that relaxing environment. Another blend that I have here is Serenity, and Serenity is actually known as the Restful Blend, and this one I use for bedtime all the time. And this one is a blend of oils that actually promote relaxation. That's why it's called the Restful Blend. So this one is great for using when you're trying to calm yourself down to get more sleep. It's really hard for us when we're, going all day, and then we just kind of stop. right, and go to sleep. It's really hard for our brains to just shut down and go to sleep. So we really have to do what we can to promote that relaxing environment and help our body know that we're trying to get into a calm down state that, we're looking to sleep in. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this, maybe somebody that you know that is super on edge right now. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. I almost forgot, if you would like a free sample before you make a full-on commitment to an oil, definitely reach out to me and we'll get you rocking and rolling with that one. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better rest of your weekend, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.